Welcome back, tribe. Got an episode here from FB. Woke women are freaking out over student loan repayments. Repayments, bro. Welcome back, tribe. I have one here for FB Capital. Woke women are freaking out over their student loan repayments. Apparently, they think they don't owe the government money. Just because.
Let them start garnishing my wages.
Now the government is like, pay up, no mercy.
There won't be a wage for them to garnish.
How the f*** are you supposed to pay a loan back? That big?
No. We're not paying those back.
I will never be paying my student loans.
Why do you care so much? They're not paying the money back to you.
You first that keep saying, why should my tax dollars pay for other people's student loans? One, go yourself.
I'm going to stop paying my debt.
Hey, imagine going in debt to just become a radicalized moron that votes against their own interest.
I'm going to use that money and I'm going to go live my life.
I am over $80,000 in debt.
I have over $75,000 in student debt.
$95,487.
$80,000, maybe even a little more than that.
About $200,000 in debt total, with all my student loans and credit card debt and just other debt. So,
And they want us to get married to this. Listen to this. $270,000 for this woman. This is not wife material. Why would any man hitch himself to a woman like this that brings nothing but baggage? Baggage in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Forget the rest of the headaches. That's wild, dude. Go out into foreign lands and get you women with no debt.
What you care about is my debt. You don't care about what the kids I take care of. You don't care about my role in society.
And all the mediocre white men in my comment section that are either too dumb or too poor to go to college.
What are they going to do? I'm broke. I have no money.
we will all file bankruptcy. You're not getting a dime from me, Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
I don't think they realize we don't care. We don't care about credit scores.
This country sets us up for failure.
Like, do you have a heart?
You don't care what education means to this country?
Whoever is making these decisions clearly does not care about American people.
But I wanted to move back to New York City as soon as possible. So I know what you're thinking. You're in that much debt and you're going to go move to the most expensive city in the world. Yes, I am.
What the hell?
Oh boy. I think we've reached lobotomy level in this one because I've been covering a lot of insanity, delusion, and stupidity on this channel, but this topic really has it all, since I don't even know where to start. Do we start with the blatant misinformation on what actually is going on with the income-based repayment programs, the wage garnishing, and the defaulting? Or do we explain some basic math on how interest works?
My student loan balance is slightly more than when I graduated from college, so make that make sense.
Do we start with the lack of understanding of minimum monthly payments or how loans work? Or do we explore the insanity of living far above your means, such as moving to New York City when you're already $200,000 in debt?
More than half of my monthly income will be going towards my rent. I wanted to, like, what 24-year-old doesn't want to go back to living on their own? Like, I don't want to live with my parents, no offense.
It's just all around retardation, and there's no fixing this. Because every single time these quote-unquote independent boss girl modern women run headfirst into the baseball bat of accountability, they always blame it on one thing.
Most people signed up for these loans when they were 18 years old.
They handed out student loans to 18-year-olds.
I was 18 when y'all gave that to me. It's a predatory practice.
They did not understand.
Imagine the amount of accountability dodging you have to do to say it's their fault for giving me the money. You're 18 years old. 18 years old, you could go to war. You could vote. 18 years old, you're an adult. Imagine telling someone that as an adult, you're too stupid. You shouldn't have accountability. The 19th, boys. The 19th is looking stranger every single day as they open their mouths. Where are the other women that are supposed to be checking this stupidity?
Understand the impacts it was going to have on their life.
Now, was it my fault for taking out the student loans? Yes, but when you're 18...
Yep, the good old women are just too stupid to know what they're doing at 18. Please drop a like if you're also so done with this BS excuse and comment down below what you think. Because while these wokies claim that they are too young to know what they're doing at 18, these same women also believe that 12-year-olds should be able to decide on which gender they want to be.
I'm a girl.
Who told you you're a girl?
Mommy.
Take a bunch of hormones that will destroy their bodies for the rest of their lives. That is complete insanity. And it shows that woke women will never mentally develop past the age of 9, but will stay perpetual children cosplaying as adults.
because my job is a hard job. I have a very hard job that most people don't do. I take care of kids.
Now, before we dive into the madness of this student loan drama, and trust me, it gets insanely stupid.
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus?
Is it living?
No.
Yep, worse than that. But before we do, I will say one thing in favor of these morons, and that is, yes, the student loan system in America is indeed very predatory and very broken. However, not for the reasons that these clowns keep mentioning, but we'll cover this in more detail as we go along. And this is also where my sympathy for them ends, because even though they want everybody in the country to be understanding and vote for student loan forgiveness,
maybe we need to help some people get where they're going sometimes in order to build a society that works for everyone. If your tax dollars did pay for student loans, it's because you're investing in society. A rising tide lifts all boats.
Those same people asking for your sympathy are total assholes.
Yeah.
That keep saying, why should my tax dollars pay for other people's student loans? One, go
yourself. We move to places that other people like us are and like them aren't.
And all the mediocre white men in my comment section that are either too dumb or too poor to go to college.
This is what a bachelor in brain rot will get you, and it's the best example that college and university are not only making people dumber these days, but also just terrible members of society as well. Now, these people signed up for massive amounts of loans, but they don't even understand the basic concept of how interest works.
Personally, have been paying on my...
It's even crazier is most of the degrees they're going for in college are absolutely irrelevant in the real world. There are no jobs for a bunch of those social degrees, those theoretical degrees, the women's studies, the gender history degrees, all that slop shit, brain rot. All of that is just designed to take your money. You're fucking cooked. And with the advent of AI now, that's replacing everybody's jobs at a really fast rate. Just wait. The next few years are going to be fireworks. Companies are already building on the back end, completely integrating these AI systems that will wipe away all the cubicle jobs. They're being built right now. They're building in-house, backdoor, offline AI systems with these LLM models, amongst other apps that are all integrated to provide the customer with a seamless experience with somebody that could always work, always answer, always has the right answer, available 24/7, and cost them zero or just the initial startup, but works in perpetuity and whatever electricity costs are. Surely, that's much cheaper than entire departments of human beings that all need salaries and healthcare and all this other shit. It's over, dude. It's over. These women, AI will affect women the most. Men will get by. They'll go into trades. They see the tides changing. They'll hustle. They'll create their own side businesses. They'll do whatever it takes to survive. Men are built for that kind of shit. But women depend on the system. It's women that are asking a lot of their loans to be forgiven for the stupid degrees that they've gotten. In the system, they're going to get crushed. The overbearing pressure on their shoulders from their stupidity, the consequences of their actions will come home to roost in the next couple of years. No, voting blue, voting Democrat, voting progressive is not going to get your fucking decisions erased. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of your actions. It's that simple.
My student loan for over 10 years, consistently, every single month, hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
I have been paying for 10 years. The grand total is I have paid $120,000 and I still owe 76. I think I might be late to the game learning about this.
See, this right here is what you see a lot on TikTok, with thousands of people complaining that their student loans keep increasing or haven't gone down an inch.
Imagine going to college, getting a 4-year degree or 6-year or even becoming a PhD. Imagine the brain rot that you don't even know something as simple as if you make the minimum payments, you're only covering the interest and your principal keeps ballooning. It's like they don't know about, forbearance or deferment that most of these people are probably on. Or this is what they don't tell you when they say, like, I've been paying for 10 years and I still have $70K. That's because you were on an income-driven repayment plan. They don't talk about that, though, do they? So the minimum payments, this is what I was talking about, because usually the minimum payment, if you're not on an income calculation, should cover both, I think, the interest and slight amount going to your principal. But people also a lot of people go on the income-based repayment plan. And depending on, I don't even know what the interest rates are in the current market today on those loans, but you might not even be covering the interest fully. So you're just paying interest And potentially it's your debt still goes up. Not sure what income, repayment plan you're qualifying for, what the size of your original loan is on top of how many years you've been paying. And that calculation could be so low, dude, you don't even break interest because, quote, you can't afford it. Well, what did you major in, Cindy? That's the issue here that they don't mention.
Even though they've paid for over 10 years. But it's very simple because if your loan is so massive and the interest on it is 10 or even 17%, then a simple $80,000 debt is going to generate well over $8,000 worth of interest, which comes down to a minimum monthly payment of well over $666. Yep, the devil himself, and that is just to cover the interest.
And I started with $80,000. Last year, I paid $6,000 lump sum because that's really the only way to get it low.
That does not do a single thing to your actual loan. Now, as some of you might know, I used to be a big believer of going to university since I myself studied aerospace engineering and business administration at several universities across Europe. However, nowadays, and especially in the States, it makes almost no sense to go to university since the cost-to-benefit ratio is completely messed up, especially for the Ivy League ones that are completely out of this world.
My goal was also to go to art school for fine arts, so I ended up getting into Parsons and SVA in Manhattan, which are two incredible art schools. After 1 year of art school on Zoom and 1 year in classrooms, I am over $80,000 in debt.
Oh, Lord.
That is crazy. And this brings us to the first major problem here in this student loan disaster, which is way too many people pursuing pointless degrees for way too much money.
My name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of self.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. My concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts.
And so clearly, America does not have a student loan problem. It has a financial literacy and high school education problem, which is really prevalent in this little genius right here, who sees herself as a new age rebel.
What we're doing from this point forward is a death strike 2025. When the interest rates go up on that, I'm not paying those either, even when they start to meet our demands. And the demands are as such. Abolish ICE. I want critical race theory in the classroom.
Right. So she's fighting the system and is super anti-capitalism, right?
They have been making us suffer under capitalism forever.
In order to craft a way forward outside of capitalism. So the systems of...
I wish you could come here to the Balkans and Romania and see what communism has wrought upon the people. The remnants of a failed economic system. Come over here, because the people here are still recovering from that nightmare. Believe me. Come, look. You'll see a mix of capitalism and a mix of communism. Very strange to see two worlds superimposed like that in the modern day. These people, bro, are especially the most ardent supporters of the party, always the young women, the most bigoted, unbelievable. You're not going to pay your student loan debt? Cool. Have horrible credit the rest of your life. Never be able to take out a loan. Never be able to afford a house. No bank will loan you money. Oh, and good luck. You're going to have to probably put down a deposit on that next iPhone when you go into the fucking AT&T to go get the latest gadget. Yeah, you can't even get an iPhone without putting a down payment. Your credit's going to be so shit. This is wild, man. Or you could skip the line and just $5.99 and start showing your cooter. Okay, we don't have to have all this anti-capitalism, this economic theory talk, this whole, woke virtue signaling about whatever the fuck she woke signaled earlier. I don't even remember. Just get on OnlyFans, fulfill your purpose, be a meat wagon for a bunch of men to tug their chickens to, count your checks, and fucking bounce. Quiet out. We ain't trying to hear it anymore.
Capitalism shame you into severing yourself from your body.
Then why does she buy an iPhone and a MacBook? Products of the most capitalistic company in the world. Apple basically won capitalism, and she is happily supporting them. Not to mention that she's perfectly fine with flying off to Paris and flying to London while enjoying the good life in San Diego. And
tag the sponsor, G. She's not tagging the sponsor.
And LA. I mean, just a classic foolish champagne socialist sipping vino and complaining nonstop about the country that allows her to basically live a dream life that most people in the world would kill for.
And now I have to suffer through a civil war after having to suffer through Donald Trump basically my entire life so far?
Oh, just shut up, you absolute hypocrite. These banks and institutions are willing to lend to these people so much money without any real career prospects that they will ever be able to pay this back. And as a special little mindfuck, these banks and lenders give them a ridiculously low minimum monthly payment that they should have never even accepted, which will keep them in debt forever.
So I go ahead at that 6-month mark and I apply for the income-based repayment. I qualified and the repayment was at $0. Now it still did accrue interest, but my payment per month was $0. And every year I have recertified.
You see, that's what I'm talking about.
And it has always been $0.
So my payment will be going from a somewhat manageable percentage of my income every month.
Yeah, so these two are unbelievably stupid, but for different reasons. First up, the 0 monthly payments lady. Now, she has unsubsidized loans, meaning that the interest on those loans are not covered by the government. So for over 15 years, plus the years that she was studying, those loans accrued interest, meaning she's absolutely right now.
I'm just barely making it. I'm single. I'm a single mom. How are we going to live? How? I have a college degree. I can't make more than $20 an hour. Yeah, I picked the wrong degree.
Hey, you know what I wonder? And this is sad. If this gets bad enough, and I think it will, you think the United States will just bail out the women for doing this? You think we'll cuck out to a huge block of society of young college, not even young, just college educated women? A massive chunk, bro, of the economic engine. Do you think the United States will just forgive student loans? I could see if they become a political force and you actually have to pander to them, probably, or else you lose the election. But according to the last election we just had, it's young men you need to be pandering to and fixing their problems. So what are we going to do with this ticking debt bomb from all these college-aged women who have made terrible decisions and have no idea of their consequences? I think we're going to do what we've always done. Taxpayers will bail out this chunk of people, probably in 20 years from now, something like that. 10 years from now, you'll start to hear rumblings, maybe 5 years from now. Maybe even this next election cycle, they'll start floating it in the air, like bringing back, Biden's student loan borrower relief. Watch. I guarantee you that's going to become if that doesn't become a talking point for Democrats, they're dumb as shit. That's one of the few things they have up their sleeve to basically coax them into vote. You don't even have to coax these people. Technically, you're not earning any people from across the aisle. Let's just say these people that are already in debt are already voting for Democrats anyways. So you're going to have to, you need another olive branch extended to the other side, the young men that you've been demonizing. But you never know. You never know. I just know women usually get bailed out. And Big Daddy government loves a good taxpayer-fueled bailout. Just ask the banks.
Put myself in debt.
This is why these old income-based repayment plans were absolutely ridiculous and needed to be overhauled, which is exactly what is happening right now. Now, obviously, everyone that sees their payments go up blames Trump, but the real problem is that they should have never even been given a 0 monthly payment for over 15 years. Nor should they have accepted these low minimum monthly payments. Which brings me to the 250 lady.
This is the impact just on me of what he has done. My payment is going to more than quadruple.
Yeah, well, actually, 4 times 250 is $1,000. So they haven't more than quadrupled, they've more than tripled. Now, on the surface, this looks like an innocent mistake. But when you listen to more and more of her rants, it becomes very clear that she likes to make things seem more dramatic. Since she claims that raising her monthly payments from $250, which is ridiculously low, by the way, to $900 is simply unacceptable and irresponsible for her salary.
Percentage, a somewhat manageable percentage of my income every month to the amount that will pay off my loans in the next 10 years.
But this same woman has plenty of money to go to a Taylor Swift Eras tour.
I finally got Eras tour tickets. I'm so freaking excited.
Which definitely wasn't cheap. Or fly off to Amsterdam for a quick little 4-day Euro trip of living the European dream.
Sponsored.
And fly off to Italy for a nice, relaxing holiday.
Sponsored.
Because why not, right? It's not like we have students
relaxing while gobbling up some old gooch. Let's just call it what it is. These women do not have the money for this kind of travel. A man is behind it.
And loans to repay. Now, does this look like someone who can't possibly pay?
Whose boat is that? Talk to me. Talk to me, bro. Swallowing multiple gooches, multiple meat sticks in and out of all the orifices. Miss me with that bullshit. You know.
Pay more than $250 a month?
Unreal.
Of course not. Oh, and don't forget, she also had plenty of money to spend throwing a very nice wedding that by her own accord costed her way too much money.
I also spent a lot of money on my honeymoon, and I don't regret that.
She's married. So again, I told you, she locked herself down to one gooch. And that dude, if he's affording all this, imagine the fucking intelligence this guy has to get down on one knee and say, will you marry me to this debt cuck? Boy, oh boy, do men love building the world and then just handing it off to the worst women imaginable. Unreal.
But I do have some feelings about the money I spent on the wedding.
So clearly she's able to spend tens of thousands of dollars having fun flying.
There he is, bro. There's the guy. There's our guy. Mr. Gooch Supreme here. There he is. I hope it's worth it, bro. I hope the honey pot is extra slimy, full of honey, glistening. Because, geez Louise, you took on the responsibility of an adult child. You got to carry an adult child on your back the rest of your life. You think she's going to be paying that shit? No, bro, you're footing the bill. You're a man. That's what men are supposed to do. Otherwise, what's the point of having you? And by the way, Stacy just went to blah, 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 blah. She was in Oslo last week. And I want to go to Scandinavia too. I want to see what it looks like in Norway. And by the way, she was just in Egypt. And I want to go see the pyramids. Good job, bro. Good job. You selected greatness.
All over the world, but asking her to pay back her student loans by more than $250 a month is just simply asking too much. Bro, this is why people without student loans or people who've never even been to college absolutely...
This shit's crazy. This dude went viral. He changed his life. I remember we watched a video of him. I think I saw he got fired and then rehired or something crazy like that. I was just 18 years old. These are the same women who say that teenage girls are more mature than boys the same age. LOL. Heater comment. I'm going to file for bankruptcy. Good luck with that. Student loan debt doesn't fall under bankruptcy. I can't believe they don't know that. I tell men, and I agree with this too, never marry a woman who owes student loans or credit card debt. When I married my foreign national wife, she actually had savings in the bank and zero debt. I can confirm this is real. My woman has savings and zero debt. I was tired of dating American women who had massive debt. Yeah, she had substantial savings. So brought something to the table, as they like to say. Accountability to a woman is like kryptonite to Superman, woke or not. This one says, men do not help rescue them. Let them be strong and independent. Exactly, just like they've been saying. Let them show us how independent and strong they are. Because what do you need a man for? Other than an open pocketbook? No thanks. Anyways, boys, protect your wallets. We'll see you in the next one.